I think we're in a great spot, so I'm ready to do this.
Yeah. You're listening to Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with your host, Varun Varma. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Listings and Lullabies, a girl dad's journey with our host, Varun Varma. Varun, congrats, dude. First episode. We actually are starting a podcast from your vision, man. First and foremost, everyone listening, everyone watching, it is very hard to start an actual podcast, all right? You got to know the ins and outs, the distribution, the production, the marketing strategy, the programming. And this guy right here took the guts to actually start. So whether we get to episode 2 or not, I want to give you mad kudos on actually starting this and for inviting me to actually be the person to help you out with this. So let's give it up for Varun Varma. And, yo, tell us who the hell you are, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. And a big part and a big shout out to you for all of this. I mean, we had that one lunch, and it's something that has certainly been in the back of my mind of wanting to get out there in some sense of capacity to share the journey, share the vision, share what we're going through. And you're a big part of that, so major shout out back to you.
Appreciate that.
We had a vision and didn't know what it was going to be, what it looked like completely, but I knew that I wanted you involved with your experience, your guidance, and your expertise. So, yeah, no, I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I definitely
man.
do.
Well,
I definitely do. So, like Vikas said, first podcast episode. We're here. We're at this beautiful place in downtown Cincinnati called 5 Iron Golf.
Yep.
Super great setup here. Been fortunate enough to be a member, so I've been able to bring some clients, some family, some friends here. And then, when we were looking for a location, this kind of just popped up. And, we talked to the guys that run this place, and they were super open-minded, super cool, and they were absolutely like, yeah, do what you need to do and let us know how we can help. So we're fortunate to have this place as our location. Got a super dope setup for the golfers out there.
Yeah.
If you recognize this hole, it's hole number 7 at Pebble Beach. So a super iconic hole for all the golfers out there and the fans of golf. Definitely wish we would be out at the beach right now.
Yes,
with
it is
the weather
wintertime.
we've had, recently. So, but yeah, grateful, blessed to be here, and excited to see where this journey takes us.
Yep.
And journey is going to be a key part of this.
Yeah,
it's a girl dad's journey. So, speaking on that, I am Varun Varma, born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, over on the east side, Anderson Township.
East side?
Yes, parents are entrepreneurs, came here in the 70s and 80s with our family, big family that we have.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know, Vikas and I have known each other since day one. He is my cousin, but more like a brother than a cousin in that sense. And our whole family, we're blessed that we were raised in that sense of, the brother-sister relationship.
Yep. Family over everything.
Correct. Family over everything. Even the ups and downs, through the ups and downs, through a lot that we've gotten through personally in our relationship too. So, but that is brotherhood. Right?
That's episode like 50. Yeah. All right, that we'll get into later.
Yeah. So, born and raised Cincinnati, first Indian American generation here, and it's been a wild ride. Blessed for the experiences I've had, the ups and downs, the highs and lows. I've got one brother in Chicago. He recently got married a little over a year ago to an amazing woman. Blessed to have her as my sister-in-law. And a lot of the back end and inspiration of this podcast is seeing my brother with what he's done in his career, his industry. He started an account called Brown Man Therapy.
Go check it out.
That's really taken off. That focuses a lot on the South Asian male community and their mental health. So that's been gaining a lot of good traction for them. They're actually going to be receiving an award within that community in the next month or so.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get out to Philadelphia to be out there and support them and kind of network with that group. But a lot of inspiration from there, a lot of inspiration from what happened in May, where I was blessed to become a dad for the first time, a baby girl, hence the girl dad part, and her name is Ziana. My wife Bavisha is an amazing woman, a rock star. Anybody that can put up with me is
is
first class ticket to heaven for sure. So she's amazing, who gives me the ability and strength and motivation and power to get up every morning, be here, be successful, work on myself, work on us, our relationship, and now work on myself as a dad. There is just a lot to unpack for sure, but those kind of are my whys.
Yep.
Into why we're here. And there's been a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs, like anybody. I'm not the only one that's gone through that stuff, but I've been blessed to have a huge backbone of support from my parents, my family, my wife, and that's all been the journey that's got us here to this moment. And excited to kind of just share and talk about things that I've been through. Maybe that relates to a lot of our viewers and listeners, and also get a different perspective on how we're dealing with things. You know, there's, Ziana is 9 months later this week, actually. And just kind of seeing the ups and downs of that, adapting to that, and because it's different life change,
Yeah.
You know, Bavish and I have been married 5 years, so
Congrats.
we got to enjoy. Thank you. We got to enjoy, married life, for a lot of that, and after doing things 5 years together of just her and I, the ability to just up and go and travel or go out to dinner or do whatever the hell it is we want.
Yeah.
And now you're coming home from work and maybe a long day, you just get to plop on the couch and binge watch some shows. Now that's gone. If I ever thought of just sitting on the couch and binge watching some shows, I probably wouldn't see my wife and daughter much. But so it's just like, those are the adapting to that and how you deal with that mentally and emotionally and all that stuff. And obviously witnessing and being a part of the journey that a mom goes through, a wife that becomes a mother goes through, which none of anything we'll talk about or anything like that will compare to that.
Right.
The pain and change and certainly ups and downs there. But I think there's a lot that men go through, being a dad, becoming a dad, getting to that point, and those changes, because, like I said, Bavish is a rock star, and there are a lot of things that she does that I can never do, and I sit there on the sidelines like, wow, like she does all that, We're going through sleep regression right now, and Bavisha's up 4 or 5 a.m., whatever, and she knows that I have a long work day, and she also has a long work day, and she gives me the luxury of sleeping in a little bit longer. Now I may sense that attitude change when I wake up in the morning, but she lets me sleep in a little bit. So before I have to get up and start my day and things like that. So that whole balance, that whole journey, that whole experience is something that I think a lot of us go through, and I think this will be a great podcast to share my point of view, how we got here, how I'm dealing with things, how we're experiencing stuff. You're also a dad, of course.
Yep, boy dad.
To a boy dad. To my nephew who I love, Ovi. Shout out to Ovi and Priya. And we'll talk about that too.
Right.
So excited to have you on this as well, and as someone to bounce things off of and just see where this all goes.
Right. No, and I think that was great. I think it's parenting overall that is very important, and we want to discuss a lot of that, whether it's a girl or a boy. Or whatever. There's a lot of things that are just trials and tribulations. You got to test and learn and find out. But there are different things that raising a son have versus a girl. And so we want to bring all that on the table right here, spread it all out, man. The only way we make this happen is if we open up, we're vulnerable, and we share with one another. So there are going to be plenty of opportunities for us to talk about this stuff. The guests that Varun will talk about a little bit that will be coming on our show throughout the journey of this whole thing, there's just a lot to unpack there, and we really want to just put it all out there. So you've given us a really good understanding of the lullabies part of it. the show is called Listings and Lullabies. So tell us a little bit about the listing side of it, why that name, where your background is there, and the other part of this show, besides the parenting, the family, the personal side, what's the other side of this show going to look like?
Yeah, the other side of the show is the business perspective. You know, we are entrepreneurs, small business owners. You know, a lot of those qualities have come from, you know, our parents who came here with a lot less than we have to start a business, start their own journey. And, you know, that's the path I chose as well after, you know, trying a little bit of different things, and landed here in real estate about 6-7 years ago, and fortunate enough to have good success with that. And that will be the other side of things, you know, not really talking and promoting about real estate, but that's there, but also just kind of the journey of being a business person and being a small business owner, and how that impacts your life, your relationship, your viewpoint on things, from both internally and the outside perspective as well. So we'll have some guests that are other entrepreneurs in different industries, maybe also same industry as well, and just kind of talk about that journey and that experience and those highs and lows, ups and downs, to go along with the word listings, right? That definitely entails real estate, and getting through the startup aspect of that. You know, is this the right thing that I chose to follow? Is this going to support myself, my wife, my kids, and all the luxuries we want to enjoy and experience in life? So
so this podcast is not only a place to share information, knowledge, life hacks. It'll also be therapy sessions, you know, the mental health part of it, the frustrations that every human goes through. But then also sharing some things of value from an entrepreneurial side, productivity side, a balance side, right? And then bringing on amazing guests that can help us, you know, share what we want to with all of our listeners. And so, you know, I think applauding you, first of all, for even taking this. Everyone out there listening, you know, website is girldadspodcast.com. We will be putting all of the episodes there. We will also be on all of our episodes. All of our podcasts will be on Spotify, Google, Apple, all of the major podcast distribution outlets as well. We'll also have a lot of our content on social media. Our Instagram and TikTok channels are girldads.podcast. So definitely check us out. We'll put all that right here in the video as well. But, you know, we just wanted to invite everyone, introduce the episodes, introduce the show, introduce this G right here. Varun, what are you listening to right now? What's some of the music going on right now, man?
Oh, yeah, the music right now, I'm in a more country chill vibe right now. So, yeah, I've been a longtime country fan. I think that comes from the Anderson roots.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, and then I've got, you know, the good old Punjabi hip-hop music that we love, that we're always sharing in the group chats and things like that. 945 right now is a banger for sure. And then, of course, the go-tos of Drake and those cats, you know, and a little bit of Bieber in there too. I am a believer. I love it, and I'm not, you know, ashamed or afraid to share that. I'm not quite a Swiftie, but
I was going to ask, are you a Swiftie?
No, but you know, fun fact, I did get to see her when she was just very, very early on beginning. She actually came to Cincinnati during Taste of Cincinnati and performed. And I remember it was, I believe, summer of senior year going into college, and a whole group of friends of us, we all went down and happened to catch a show, and I think she performed Tim McGraw, one of her OG songs and things like that. So she was a little bit more country at that time. At that time, not as poppy and certainly not as popular, but you know. Love to see everything that she's doing right now, and then also the collaboration with her and Travis Kelce. I guess that's a relationship.
UC, baby,
not
UC.
a collaboration. I love it because, yeah, shout out to Kelce, a UC man. Certainly tough to see him on the Chiefs with that rivalry, but still, you know, you know, he's a guy, man. He's a guy's guy, and he has his issues. He has his problems. Certainly, it's all come to light for sure about his journey getting on. Getting a scholarship at UC, a lot of help and assistance from his brother, and things like that. There's a great documentary out there that on Amazon Prime that shares a lot of that back end stuff. And,
awesome.
You know, he's a normal guy. You know, he likes to have fun. He lives his life to the fullest, and I think that's amazing. And that's kind of what I like to do. And there's some similarities in that brotherhood relationship and that bond that I think a lot of brothers have. I think my brother and I have the ups and downs, and I think it's fantastic that your biggest supporter is one of your brothers, and I think I'm very blessed to have that as well from you, from Uncor, and so we'll definitely unpack all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, so, awesome.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk about sports, we'll talk about the fun stuff, we'll talk about the serious things, how we can help each other, how we can share our highs and lows, and how we can get through everything that we go through together, and know that there is a platform, there is a system out there that we can share and be a part of something great. And then we'll definitely, you know, throw it back to our parents and their experience.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, you know, one day we'll get, you know, my dad and mom on here, because they, to me, are my OGs, right?
Yep.
They got me here. They are the reason I'm here, and the reason I am certain ways. I have certain, you know, strengths, certain weaknesses, certain issues. And, you know, we'll dive into all that.
Awesome. Well, you said one thing, you know, we're going to do this together.
Yeah.
And that is the most important thing is, while we might be here, we want to hear from y'all. We want y'all to engage with us. We want some of y'all to be on this show.
Yeah.
We're taking this very seriously, because why else would we get like listings and lullabies and embroidered stuff and branded stuff here?
Shout out to OTO Supply, Cameron Schaefer, LFG Cincy. They've been our main go-to brand apparel guys for years. Wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. So episode 1 is right here. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content. We want you all to follow along on this journey, and you know, thank you so much for all the love, support that Varun's gotten from the community in the past, from the family. We're all one, and thank you for listening to the first episode of Listings and Lullabies, A Girl Dad's Journey, with your host, Varun Varma. My name is Vikas Sandhi, and don't forget to check us out at girldadspodcast.com. All of your favorite streaming podcast distribution channels out there, Spotify, Apple, Google, you all already know. And then don't forget to follow us at girldads.podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and also on youtube.com. We'll be letting y'all know about that right here in this video. So thank you very much, Varun, for this first episode. Love you, man.
Thank you. Love you too, baby.
And thank you. Let's go Cincinnati.
Yep, we're excited. See you guys.
Peace.